Hey everyone, it's Gamefruitpulp, and welcome back to Building Toronto. This is going to be our first video of 2018, so I want to wish a Happy New Year to everybody, and welcome you back to what hopefully will be another exciting year in this project. And so to start off the year, I thought we'd do something a little bit different than what we usually do, and so we're going to be going over everything that has been done in the past year, everything that we've done so far on the city. We've gotten a lot of new subscribers over the past few weeks, so this should be a good way to catch them up as well. And for those of you who didn't watch all the episodes, you get to see everything we built, because there were some small details on our small little buildings that we built that you may not even know we've done. So we're going to start with the first building that I did on this project. I built this building 3 or 4 times before I finally did it on the final version here. And this is the TD building with the TD spire on it. This is part of Brookfield Place technically. It's not part of the TD Center, which is another project that we're working on the map. So this is part of Brookfield Place. Like I said, it was the first thing I built, and I did quite a few tries at it. And I think this is obviously the best of the ones I did. I built a couple in survival. I built a couple in creative. This build, I'm extremely proud of. To this day, it's still my favorite build on the map. I think it's the most accurate build on the map. Every little detail about it, I think it is almost spot on, or as spot on as it possibly could be on this game. And I think it turned out really well. The only thing if I could improve would be the spire. That's what this little tower thing has at the top, but there isn't really the blocks in the game to do what I need to do with it. Interior was all done. I can't remember if I did it or if Mundane Glue did it. I think I did this one. And a little bit of a funny story about this build. For those of you who play on the server, you know that there's a /gods plugin. One day I was just working on the build, on the interior, I got smited. Didn't realize, lit the building on fire because fire spread wasn't off, and so we left this little kind of Easter egg in the build of the remnants of the Great Toronto Fire of 2017. And so a lot of the buildings interior actually did burn down, and we were able to sort of just bring it all back, or put most of it back, but we did want to leave one corner. So moving on down the road, this is sort of nothing building, not too much history with this one, but we did put it in. I think it came in with this build here, and I do really like the way this building looks, and it was something that I really wanted to do. The sandstone kind of look. It's not exactly the look that all these builds have. The Toronto Dominion building is across the street here, this long building, same sort of thing, where it's more of a limestone than it is a sandstone color, but there is no limestone in the game yet, so we sort of had to settle for sandstone. But I do like the way both these buildings look. And moving on down, we move towards the Hockey Hall of Fame and the sort of history that surrounds this building. The interior of this isn't done yet, but this is obviously one of the more historic buildings in the city, one of the first, I believe, BMO Bank in the city. And so a lot of history, and this is sort of what you're going to find as you go up Yonge Street throughout the whole build. On the right side here, it's an office tower. Interior hasn't been done yet on this, but something a little bit different, a little bit of a different sort of view picture than all the other things we built because of the odd shaping of the building, the odd floor layout, and the odd layout of the road right next to it, of Front Street. So a pretty interesting layout for that as well. And so you can see here from the entirety of Brookfield Place, this first and only city block that we have completely finished on the server. Obviously, this one was an easier city block to finish because all the buildings were kind of connected together. So as I finished Brookfield Place, the whole block was finished. But you can see the 2 north towers of Brookfield Place here, similar to the TD tower with the spire, but a little bit different, a little bit shorter, and they're also connected at the top. We'll kind of fly up and see. So you can see at the very top, they're kind of blended together. It's almost like they took one of these buildings and squished it into 2 almost in the middle. So you can see that. And then down here, we have all these kind of smaller buildings, smaller, older buildings that have been connected all into one building now. And so the interior on that hasn't been done yet. Hopefully in the new year, we will get most of these interiors done. So moving north onto Yonge Street, we have this office tower on the corner. Again, a kind of more modern looking feel, something that I enjoyed building, and something that I think adds a kind of unique feel to the world. And the reason I chose to do this corner is because this corner is a good example of a lot of Toronto, because we have this kind of modern office tower next to the Hotel Victoria, which is very old, next to just another office tower, which is a completely different style than the one on the other side of the Hotel Victoria. So it's a pretty cool contrast, and it really shows the way the city was kind of built in different stages. And so it was something that I thought would be good to sort of do after our first block was completed. And so if you come into the Hotel Victoria, kind of a cool little Easter egg with this building is that the interior is the same floor plan as the floor plan for the original Hotel Victoria, which was built in the 1920s, I believe, if I remember correctly from my research on that video. And so it's something I do want to try and put some history in the builds as much as I can, and so I thought that was a cool little tidbit of history that I put in the Hotel Victoria. And I thought that the exterior of this building turned out really, really nice. I was quite happy with how it turned out. I wanted to try and get these little details in, and I think it did a good job. And it also kind of showed how it was sort of just squished in between two other buildings as time went on. So moving west, we go towards Commerce Court, and again, a more historic area of the financial district in the city. Interiors aren't done yet for the two shorter sandstone buildings. The tall Commerce Court West Tower is done, as you can see. And we're waiting on Commerce Court North. Star is going to be building that hopefully soon. And you'll see that hopefully in the new year. But you can see Commerce Court West has a pretty good view of the city. Obviously right now it is the tallest building that we have in the city. So it gives you a good view of everything we've done so far. But you can see there, I wanted to try and do a good variety, and that's why I chose to start in this area. And we wanted to really focus on the details on this build, the little things like the trees, the patios, the elephant structures that are featured in Commerce Court. These are the things that really make this build unique. And so we did want to focus on those things, and I think that so far we've done a pretty good job of demonstrating them. Moving over further west, we have the TD Center. This is what I finished off working on in the year. We're not done it yet, and the next Building Toronto video will be at least one more building from the TD Center, hopefully 2 of the remaining 3. But you can see we've sort of worked on the lower buildings and the buildings further east, and we're working our way west. So this is where the Toronto Stock Exchange was originally, and the Ernest A. Young Tower that was built onto it. Moving south now, we go to this building, which I don't think has a name. It just is what it is. And then moving all the way south, we have the RBC Place, which it is a pretty cool building. The famous gold windows that you can see in the skyline pictures that are actually made of gold flakes. So it's a pretty unique building. And then here we have front right inside Union Station, which hoping that Union Station is being finished the renovation in real life, I will be able to build it on the server. Moving over here, as we go towards where the Fairmont will be, we sort of have more of this example of the little things we really wanted to focus on this project. And so we have the patio next to the RBC Place, the kind of small storage garage or the warehouse garage at the bottom, and these little rows and these little details that I really wanted to push for on this project to make this project really special and really something different than no one else has done. And now moving on to the last thing that we did this year, and sort of I'll talk a little bit about going forward. We have these last 2 buildings from the TD Center that I've built, and we're working on this stuff here. This is some of the work I've done off camera in the new year so far. And you can see very similar builds. All these black buildings are very similar, built by the same architect. We had some fun on the holidays with some llamos on the roof of this building, but that is all we've done really. It seems kind of minimal when we go over it in a video. Like I covered it all in less than 10 minutes, but I think it is pretty significant, and especially if you want to come in and explore all these buildings sort of walking around. The plan is that in the next coming weeks we're going to change this to default game mode of Game Mode 2 for the players, and they can come around and explore. And so a lot of the interiors are finished. If you want to wander into a building and sort of look up in the interiors, we do have Easter eggs in a lot of the buildings, little paintings that players made and stuff like that. But it's been a ton of fun, and I had a lot of fun building this in 2017. The project, I didn't really know what to expect when I started this project, and I'm happy with how it's been so far. But I'm looking forward to even more great progress in 2018, hoping that our building team is going to expand a little bit. We did get a new member who will hopefully be on building with us pretty soon. And hopefully we'll get some really good progress coming out. One of my New Year's resolutions was to build a little bit on Toronto every single day, and so far on the 3rd of January, I have done that. So so far so good. This is coming out on a Thursday because today is Wednesday. So we are going to be trying to get back, or I am, sorry, not we are. I am going to be trying to get back onto the regular Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. This one's going to come out on a Thursday, and I'm not sure when the next video is going to be. But the next video should be the winners of the subscriber shoutout competition. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. So I just want to thank you guys for your support so far on this this project has had great support, and it really has kept me going with this project because it does get pretty tedious at times, especially with this kind of small detail work, like these trees, like this grass, like these grass little fields and that kind of stuff. So I really do appreciate the continued support on this series. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave that be sure to hit that subscribe button. And for anybody who enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a favorite, and share the channel with some of your friends as well. Comment on what your favorite build was so far in the series, whether it was the TD Center or really anything I did. Comment on what your favorite build was of 2017, and I'm looking forward to having more great builds done in 2018 with you guys. And so thank you once again for your continued support. If you want to come and check out Toronto, the map is featured on the AnitiCraft Townie server. IP will be in the description down below, and then to get there you just do /go, and then you click the beacon and you end up in Toronto. So I hope to see some of you guys on here checking out the map. Aside from that, hope you guys have a good day. I'll catch you all later. My name is Gamefruitpulp, and have a good one.